to episode 1 of Chewing the Fat with Matt. I'm Matt.
I'm Matt.
I'm Haley.
I almost said your line. I almost said it. I'm Haley. Yeah, it's we're there, bub. Wow. We are 30 seconds and we're there. So this is a podcast called Chewing the Fat with Matt, and the point of this podcast is for you guys to eavesdrop on a conversation with Matt, and a guest, and we have Haley Taylor as our guest on episode 1. So to get to know each other, I thought right off the bat we'd play a little game, and it's actually less of a game, and it's more of just like a fun way to get to know each other. Because I think most people listening to episode 1 probably know us. You know, I mean, there's gonna be some strangers out there. Are you a stranger from Idaho?
Put in the doobly-doo down below.
What? Could you spell it for me right now?
Spell it. Dooble.
Wrong.
Do.
So, what I want to do, there's a name game that we do at our youth group sometimes where so my name is Matt, and so we all go in a circle and we try and, say a word that starts with the first letter. Like, so I'm movie Matt, maybe you're, there's no other word that actually starts with H right now. I can't think of one.
I was going to say horse.
A horse, I'm horse.
I don't want to be known as that, though.
I'm horse Haley?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what I want to do is we'll start, it doesn't have to be your name, but think of one word that describes you, and then the next person has to think of a word that describes them, which starts with the first letter of that word. Does that make sense? And so we'll do that. The three of us will go. And then the next person will do a word, and all three of us have to come up with a word that describes us. So by the end, we will have all described each other, or ourselves, with 3 different words that start with 3 different letters. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So I'll start first. Tall. So a word that describes you that starts with the letter T. Haley.
Talented.
Okay. Self-aware. I like it.
Oh, boy. See, these are the types of things that you don't know.
I need the taboo, the little taboo.
Yeah,
exactly.
The one?
Yeah.
Throw it out there. That's what I did.
See, now I just can't think of
3,
2 words.
2, 1. That usually works. If I could transcribe
the only word is tangible.
Tangible.
But do not touch me.
We know this, actually. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There's
a
just
tank.
A tank. You are a tank.
tank.
You are a tank.
Wow.
Good. Okay. Haley, you go.
Oh, wow. Considerate.
Ooh. Okay. You
just go with the easy one. Caring. You know what?
Caring. Charming.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Now I gotta think of one.
Only in certain company does that apply, actually. I don't think my body odor is very charming.
I mean, hey, man. Now you gotta make me think of one again.
Yes.
But you have all 26 letters?
Maybe.
Yes.
We're also here for an hour, so you also got an hour to think.
Oh, everyone wants to listen to you think of a letter for the next 57 minutes.
Exciting.
Exciting.
Wow.
Oh, boy. E. Eccentric. Are you kidding me?
Excellent.
I thought you said accident.
Yo.
No. Oh my gosh. That's too much.
Yeah.
All right. So, switching gears now to the prompt.
Okay.
This is how each episode is going to go. We will have a 1-sentence prompt that the goal is to start there. The goal is not to end there. By the end of the hour, we hope to have digressed completely into a new topic of discussion. It's not going to be forced. It's going to be an organic conversation starting with the prompt. And the prompt really was discovered on accident. We were having a meal, the 3 of us, a few days ago at the Barn Pantry, and Haley was having a conversation about life is too short for fill in the blank. And we were having such a good conversation. I said, pause, no more ideas, no more ideas. That's the podcast. That's episode 1. So episode 1 is life is too short for fill in the blank. So I think our organic conversation happens, but I want you to start this because you had so many things to say that were just perfect.
I have a whole bullet list of what life is just too short for.
So it's your bucket list.
Yeah.
Basically.
But you didn't count prepared. It's all in here. It's up there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just all in the noggin. It's
Okay.
literally not physical. It's just things I experience in life. I'm just like, obviously. 1, life is too short for, like, not exciting, like, you need an exciting, stupid tattoo. Like, that's where it goes to, you know? Like, me and my sister talked about getting, like, matching tattoos for years now. And we're like, we finally thought of it. Honkus Ponkus. Like, it's like this goose dressed up like a wizard. Honkus Ponkus.
Wait, I just made a connection because the goose honk. The honk. Yeah, the
Well, it's
honk
like an
laugh.
also thing. Like, if you look up Honkus Ponkus, it's this goose dressed up like a wizard that
Wait,
pops
it's a real
up.
thing?
Yes.
I thought you came up with it.
No, I'm not
It's
that
a real thing.
smart.
Does it have a caption? That's the question.
Yes.
Okay,
Oh
then we're... Yeah.
my
So it's like a goose dressed and then Honkus Ponkus. And so
And then honk.
I have dedicated the back of my neck for this goose.
Oh my.
Because I want people walking behind me on a hot summer day just to look at it, laugh at it, and be blessed. So, like, the day I die.
I will never forget the line. I have dedicated the back of my neck to this goose.
My sister brought me in her room and she was like, idea. And I was like, of course.
Oh my god.
And that's when I knew I wanted my back of my neck to be
Wow.
dedicated for that.
See, because I noticed about you and your sister that the door to your room basically doesn't exist. That
It's
at
just-
any moment one of you could come in
Yeah.
with anything.
Just 2 feet. And
one,
they're there.
And one day, your sister just waltzes in with Honkus Ponkus.
Basically.
I mean...
I'm just like, great idea.
Oh my god.
I walked into her room. She was at her desk doing wonderful art that was like a commission piece, and she just looked at me and went, Honkus Ponkus. And then also just like, you know, Panya, the movie, we have 2 tattoos. I haven't mentioned the second one. I don't think I mentioned the second one to you yet. Panya, you know how like she becomes like a little girl, but at one point she has these weird chicken feet?
Okay, the best
I
part
do
is
not know that movie.
I don't know Matt's have seen this, but the more you describe it, the more I'm intrigued.
Okay, so like, Ponyo, Ghibli film. Me and my sister, huge fans of Ghibli. Besides the point. Ponyo, wonderful film.
Mm-hmm.
10 out of 10 stars. Anyways, but basically, she's like this weird tadpole girl thing, and like, it's just like this whole beginning piece of this movie of her just evolving into like this person like a toad does from tadpole to toad. And at one point she's like developing her legs and her feet, and she's like, I can walk. And she gets these weird like chicken legs. And they just look like straight up chicken legs.
That's kind of terrifying, actually.
Is this a
Yeah.
horror film
I do not
now?
want to wake up with chicken
No.
legs.
Like she
I
eventually
do-
gets like
I do
real
not.
legs.
I do not want that.
So then second goal is getting that somewhere on us. And I'm thinking about dedicating the back half of my arm right here for it.
Or you just go
I've
your whole
thought
body.
about it.
Really, by the end of all this, you're just gonna have some kind of
Just
like
stupid
estuary on your back. All of
the
these
thing.
fictitious birds all over you.
If I have 2 stupid things on my back, like that's chill. I have a friend who has a friend who's like left thigh, completely dedicated to Texas.
Oh my!
Like completely dedicated to Texas.
Dirk Nowitzki, just like a perfect,
She was
like
like-
life size,
She
know.
was telling me about it. I was like, no, this isn't real. And she showed me a picture of it. And it's just like the state, a boot, a cowboy hat. And I was like, this is fake. This has to be fake.
So speaking of life size, I actually have never thought of any like cool, silly tattoos. But I've always had one that I've always wanted to go into a tattoo shop to ask for, just to get their reaction to see if they think it's feasible. And I want to go into a tattoo shop and ask them, can I get like a life-size portrait of me on my body, but like 3 inches taller? Like, could you do that?
So your eyes are just like on the top of the back of your
There's
head.
so many reasons why that's not possible, but I want them to draw one up and see what that would look like.
And then stencil it.
Yeah, and then stencil it just to see, like, would they get my kneecaps, just, by proportion, just slightly taller, and how would you do the shading? Like that, see, that's when you know you're a good tattoo artist, is if you could artistically recreate that.
You know what the real meta is? People who get real tattoos for movies.
What?
That's the thing. I don't know. I can't remember where I saw it, but this dude got real tattoos for a role in a movie.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay, if you were to get, say, like the lamest scene from a movie tattooed on your body, what would it be? I mean, I already know mine. It's easy.
Okay.
I have the right answer.
Okay, go.
It would be Rose and Finn kissing at the end of episode 8. Because it was like it's, in my opinion, the most unnecessary moment of cinematic history.
Okay.
But I don't want that on my body, actually.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I actually liked Rose's character like a lot.
Wait,
you know,
what is this from?
at the beginning of
Star
Star Wars 8, which is like the
Very
most controversial like Star Wars
Gotcha.
film. I actually really liked Rose's character. Like at the beginning of the film, I was like, I really like this character, and I just hated the story they wrote for her. Like, great character. Really liked her. And like her whole story with her sister and everything, it was so cool. And then I just felt like they just like
Trash.
Dude.
laid an egg on her story. So there's that.
Was Rose lore? Actual lore?
It
I
is,
thought
she is now. She is now. Yeah. Sorry. But the real question is Rey a Disney princess?
Is Rey or is Star Wars involved in the whole big giant Disney like understory of like all the Disney princesses are connected?
So in the
That's the
same
real
universe,
question.
Tangled
Yeah.
and Shrek princess.
See, I jumped
Remember
through
that Princess Fiona.
I always remember. Disney,
No, I was in Humperdinck. What's his name? Farquaad, the Lord Farquaad. If I ever have children, sorry, bud. You're walking down there with your birth certificate. Hey, Farquaad's on there. Hey, Farquaad, you're on the team. You know, just like. How do you nickname Farquaad? There's no nickname. You gotta call him Farquaad.
Their name is their nickname.
Oh my god.
That's
Also a curse.
the truth.
There is no nickname for Farquaad.
No, I feel like
No.
someone would come up to you and be like, what's your actual name?
Farquaad.
Farquaad.
Exactly.
No, it's Christopher Walken. My name is Farquaad. Okay, what nicknames have you guys been given that you just refuse?
Miggy.
Miggy.
I don't like Miggy.
What?
How'd you
I
get?
do not like Miggy.
Oh, Matt Siggy.
Matt Siggy switched to Sat Miggy.
Miggy.
I don't like Miggy.
Because it makes me feel like your name's Miguel.
Yeah.
Fair. I also don't like Maddie. Don't call me Maddie.
That just
I
feels
have a couple
unnatural.
people call me Maddie. My sister-in-law. Hi, Ashley. Oh no, she calls me Miat. She calls me Miat.
Hey,
A couple
Miat.
people call me Maddie.
I feel like I've called you Miat.
Miat.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
just comes out.
M-Y apostrophe A-T-T. Miat.
Just rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue real nice.
It really, well, it's more, it rolls off the back of Miat. It's like
Yeah.
it's
Back
like
of
a
the
wave,
tongue.
It's
actually.
like
You
you're
have
trying
to,
to meow. You're
Yeah.
a cat trying to say your name.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. Cats and dogs, that's the debate, right? Are you a cat person or are you a dog person?
Yeah.
I don't even like this debate,
I think it's...
to be honest. I feel like it's polarizing. I feel like we need to bring a third party.
Hamsters.
Hamster. that's the third party of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Like this year.
Okay, what do you want to be?
Yeah.
Tuna?
Okay, this is so good. Okay, if we were to like take the political party system
Okay.
as like infrastructure for pets, who is the best third party candidate? Who could possibly overthrow the cat dog debate? Like, paradigm is shifting, status quo is over, people.
Wow.
The third party system is actually going to work. Who are we voting for in the animal kingdom?
I personally would probably choose a lizard.
Okay.
But
Okay, so tell me the lizard platform and why I should vote for a lizard.
But here's the thing. I don't think I could properly give that to you, but I feel like my third party choice is slightly biased because I feel like lizards are similar to dogs depending on the situation or the type of lizard it is.
I can't think of one
Same with
situation.
cat. It's
Okay.
a Venn diagram and it's the third circle.
Okay, yeah, sure. In the sense of just like have you guys ever seen like a tegu before?
Is this like a liger?
No, it's a giant lizard. It's just massive.
like a
Like
crocolisk or a
Sure.
Komodo dragon.
There,
Kind
I
of,
knew that
yeah.
one. I
Okay.
don't know what
So, like,
crocodile
I
That's from
don't
World of Warcraft. so-
remember like exactly the size of them, so like what I'm saying, don't take as fact.
Okay.
Anyways,
That's
but
fair.
you could take it as a nice assumption.
Does a crocodile count as a lizard? Because if so, I'm voting for your crocodile.
It's I'm voting for your crocodile. It's in the family.
Okay.
Sick.
Okay.
But like they're just huge, and you give them a corner of your house with like a little nice heating
A
lamp.
crocodile's gonna want more in the corner of your house.
Well, like
It's gonna want
he's
you.
It's gonna want it. It's gonna want all of it.
like it needs a nice warm spot. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it just like roams around. It could be like a cat or a dog in the sense of just like being a companion, but it makes no noise.
Okay.
And you can teach it to make the mess outside, if you get what I'm saying.
Maybe the crocodile's not gonna make some noise, but your neighbor's gonna make some noise.
Well, yeah,
You can
that's
roast it?
true. I guess like it depends on like what kind you choose.
Yeah.
There's a whole variety out there, such as cats and dogs. But
So it's a diverse platform, which is
Yeah.
attractive politically, and so in that sense, I could see Lizard platform going somewhere.
on the outside, it looks appealing.
Yeah, but up close, what does Lizard bring to the table? I think that's where
Not much.
that's where the platform is weak.
Yeah.
It's an attractive platform, but the platform is weak.
Exactly.
The ability to love like a cat or a dog is, I feel like, less there.
Yeah.
They're not
Well,
gonna go and rub up against it, you know.
Here's the thing,
even if
though.
there was like a sympathetic and
Yeah.
like a love language of like physical touch, like I don't even want to touch a crocodile. It's leathery. It's like your furniture, you know, and the furniture that might eat me. So I don't want that.
I'll sit on it.
Yeah. I would never sit on a crocodile.
if you sit on a crocodile, it's
So you got problems.
probably with you.
The only time you're about to sit on a crocodile is if that thing has some reins. You're about to ride that thing over town, and if you have a crocodile mount, I am voting for Lizard platform. Hello, are you kidding me?
Hello.
If you can train your crocodile to be ridden like a horse, I'm voting for Lizard.
But here's the thing: if I say yes and show some hope into that direction, does that count as close enough?
I don't know. But see, okay, you can get like salmonella from like lizards, right? I thought I've heard that.
Well, yeah, you can actually.
So basically, like, on one end you might have crocodile mount, on the other end you might have like
Poop
egg.
yourself.
Yeah, you might poop yourself. Like you might have like, okay, don't touch it because it's like a raw egg. You know,
Well, it's like you gotta wash your hands.
Wash
you
after
wash your
that.
handsies. Don't
Yeah.
forget to wash your
It's not
handsies.
like you're gonna go like pet your pet crocodile and then like eat something because you're not gonna go
Yeah.
pet a dog and then not wash your
Yeah,
hands.
it's, you know that is true. I mean,
You got fleas.
yeah, and dander.
Crocodiles can't get fleas.
Dander.
And, like, I mean, so like
Oh, I can't. I thought you said can. I was like, hold on, what?
So Bobo, well now she lives with a friend of ours, but Bobo, we got her, she was like 6 weeks old, little Staffordshire pit, and she literally nose to tail elongated out, like sat like from finger to my palm, like, you know, so we'd carry her around, like literally in our little hoodie pocket, you know, and so she was potty trained super young. And she was like an inside dog for a while. And so we were always like with her, right? I still always washed my hands. I mean, as she got older and she would run around in the dust. So it was more of like a comfort thing. Like I didn't want puppy dust all over my hands, you know? Because I'm a face toucher, you know? Like
Yeah.
I do that. I'm always like, you know, you don't think complete inherent thoughts unless you're like touching your face. So I gotta wash my hands after I like
Yeah.
am with like a dog, you know?
Yeah.
Plus they're like slobbering all over you, you know,
That's
which is
the
totally
real
fine.
ticket. Nah.
But then you gotta like wash your arm and like go take a shower, you know?
A whole body wash.
Yeah.
Basically, COVID level desanitization.
Yes.
Or
Delousing powder and
Yeah.
like Clorox but I am a dog person. So I think if I come up with an animal platform, like it has to be in some way like communicative love qualities that dogs bring. It's got to be loyal. Like there's not a lot of animals I can think like for me, I would have a hard time having a fish as a pet. You know, because I want to interact. The only way you interact with the fish is you either like just pick them up, which will like kill them,
Oh my
or like tap on the
goodness.
glass, which is like the worst. Like this just
Yeah.
you're like a massive Satan to them if you're just like destroying their world and actually you know
fishy.
yeah. Like what do you do? You know, from Finding Nemo, the girl with like the big like you know
Darcy.
like headgear. What's her name?
Darcy.
Darcy.
I think so.
Darcy.
I think so.
Wow, that's deep knowledge. I wouldn't have pulled that one out.
Nemo is one of my faves.
Okay.
I dressed up as Nemo for a costume, and my mom.
Please tell me how you did that.
I don't know. I was a little baby. I was a little guy. And my mom dressed up, not a baby, maybe like a toddler. So I had some brain function up there. But my mom dressed up as a diver and took one of my Nemo stuffed animals and put it in a net. And
That's adorable.
I freaked out. Because she captured Nemo.
Hats off to you. Hats off to you, Debbie. That's a nice move. Well done, Mom.
I was crying.
Well done.
Yeah,
Wait,
she was impressive. I wasn't the Nemo in the basket.
Well, obviously, that would be bad. Child in a basket that your parent is literally just holding.
As the youngest of two brothers, basically, I had no incentive to be creative for Halloween. So I was only what my brother was.
Yeah.
So like one year he dressed up as Darth Vader, and I'm not going to dress up as Luke or Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I'm
you
going
did
to dress up as Darth Vader.
Of course.
And so there was 2 Darth Vaders for Halloween, and so we'd go door to door, and it's like, wow, this is just a literal Sith clone takeover. This is terrible.
the Force.
Bye, boy. I think, and even now, there's no incentive for me to be creative for Halloween. I've been Ron Burgundy like 3 years, and the last 2 years I've just been classy Matt. Like I just get a top hat and a cane and just dress up with like mixed matching different apparel that I've been like a groomsman for. I have a bow tie from one wedding I was in. I have a vest from another wedding I was in, and just kind of do that. And just, what are you? What are you supposed to be, the Monopoly guy? No.
I am the definition of fancy.
I'm fancy. That is my name. That is what I am. That is what I do.
If it works, it works.
But I think going back, I've not done anything other than that for like 7 or 8 years.
Wow.
But I'm also just not really a big Halloween guy.
Yeah.
You know, candy's not my thing. I don't really eat candy. So my goal to obtain candy is moot. It's a moot point. And I'm not a huge dresser upper for the sake of dressing up, but I also really love being dapper.
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. That's the thing. Dressing up, looking all fly. I mean,
it feels good. Like I enjoy it, and especially like right now, like I'm in a tank top and I haven't shaved in like 9 days. I'm on the back end of my laundry, you know, so I'm just throwing on whatever doesn't smell rancid, you know.
Sick.
Like that. Like that's just kind of my prerogative at this point in my life, right? It's COVID, like 5 months deep into this thing.
Yeah.
Like you. I had
are we 5 months deep into...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to 2020.
Yeah, it's January 100 and...
Dude, literally, it still
98.
feels like January. Like, not even kidding.
Here's the thing. I forget what day it is constantly because at the beginning of this year, I shattered my wrist. So I was out for months.
That was the beginning of this year.
Wow.
January 26th.
You're the
Unfortunately,
reason.
the same day Kobe died.
No.
I shattered my wrist. So
Okay.
like from there, I had surgery. So I was just out. And as soon as I was like basically good to go to drive and do things again, Rona broke out. So then I was like, great, now I'm really stuck in my house again.
Oh, man.
So I haven't really experienced this year. So in my mind, this doesn't exist.
Dude, like I basically, and this is so bad, like it's been such a difficult year for me in so many regards that I basically am just kind of like, I've already written off like all the lessons to be learned, like psychologically, like I haven't, and truly like I want to like learn the lessons to be had, but I basically from a position of comedically coping with this year, I basically have just already deleted 2020 from my memory.
Yeah.
You know, it's just kind of like I wake up, my goal is to get to next year, like as if a number made like some kind of like as if it wasn't completely arbitrary, like as if we can just get to January 1st, everything will be fine. Like that's not at all like the reality, like at all.
It's been a good time because like I'm not too keen on socializing specifically with strangers. Nothing against strangers.
Stranger danger.
Just socializing.
Yeah, we've been,
period. Yeah. So like, I don't have to be around people. But then like the other day, because like as y'all know, I'm going to Perth. Hopefully sometime.
Going back to Australia.
Looked it up when like their borders could be opening. Found out it's either mid 2021 or get ready 2025, guys.
Whoa. Okay, so those years are different.
Whoa.
Yeah. Right. So I'm either leaving when I'm 21 or 25.
I've never been in a position in life where, and we used to joke about this in high school, you know, like when you, like the high school problems,
Yeah.
like they overwhelm you when you're in that world because you're starting to finally, I mean, not always true, but it's often in high school where like it starts to get real, like life starts to get real and you're starting to process some of these things for the first time. We used to joke around, that, like I don't know what I don't know. Like I don't even know. You know, like it was like this joke back then, and I'm saying that again. I'm like regurgitating that, like what had just happened, literally. Like I'm like regurgitating this old like I don't even know what I don't know. You know, like someone asked me like, "Hey, is it okay to skate at the skate park right now? Like you're out there all the time, right?" And I'm like, I literally don't know. I see police out there all the time. I wave at them, they wave back, and they're fine with it, like, you know. And then there's baseball practice happening right next to us. They're all touching the same ball. So like I don't know. Like I literally don't know what I don't know anymore. Yeah.
Take a chance on it.
Yeah. So I feel like right now it's kind of like what is my goal today? What is my aim today?
Yeah.
You know?
2020, the moniker for the future, or how it's going to be remembered. 1, I don't know. 2, it's just a random mist of like 2020 is going to be both forgotten and never forgotten.
Okay. Yeah. I saw. I think it was Jeff who said this a couple weeks ago. He might have saw it on a meme. He is that creative to think of it, but I think he saw it somewhere where he's like, "I'm praising the Lord I didn't do a New Year's 2020 vision sermon." Because of all the years to like challenge your congregation about it, it's just like, oh, praise the Lord, I don't have to hold up to that one. I was like, dude, like we waited 2,020 years to have a perfect sermon example. And then we had this year to follow it up. So all you pastors who gave a 2020 vision New Year's sermon, you best be holding up to that, man, because you just got challenged big time.
Whoopsies.
Watch it.
Oh my gosh, man, you guys.
I will say, it has taught me to be present daily.
Yes.
Because what plans can I really make? You know? Which isn't like a bad thing.
I will say that like plans have gotten way more spontaneous. Like you just have to. I mean, it feels like you have to because like you can plan for a month out, and you know sometimes that's worked out, but oftentimes that doesn't work out.
Yeah.
And or even like big trips, like you plan where you would normally plan 6 months to a year out, you plan a couple months out, and it's like. Okay, let's just do it. Like, let's just go. Let's do it. Let's go have fun. Like that's.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So what are you guys doing for like constructive recreation right now?
Really good question. Personally, like I've had like really nice opportunities of like working with people. I just designed someone's like logo for like their business, which has like been nice, and I've been like working on art things.
The site.
So like yeah, it's been really nice. Learned I'm really into abstract art. And I've also learned more so how to do more like realistic paintings. Not the best at them, but it's getting there.
What medium do you use? Like pastel? That's one, right? Pastel.
A medium.
Yeah. Pencil, charcoal, painting, like.
So it depends. Sometimes I'll use like colored pencils, or I'll use a mixture of acrylics, gouache. I could be saying that one wrong.
Gouache.
That's okay. Or watercolor. I like gouache because it's kind of like the mixture of like an acrylic with a watercolor. So it kind of like works better like in the sense of how like a watercolor you can manipulate it in that sense. But it has like the same texture and a like I literally forgot what it's called, like thickness color wise.
Yeah.
Like when you paint. So it's like nice and it's like easier in like my use of it of just like layering.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
So what you're saying is you get the best of both worlds by Hannah Montana?
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know how to respond to that for sure.
Good.
Okay, this is the moment where I'm going to go out there. And this is by no means like trying to like lay my masculinity card, you know, in the air and be like, hey, look at this, you know. I've never seen a moment of the Hannah Montana show.
Wow. I have news for you. You're not missing out on much.
Okay. Like, what's the selling point for the show? Like, there's got to be. It's like, Hey Arnold, right?
Yeah.
Hey Arnold. I'm holding that one up as one of the greatest animated shows of all time.
I've never seen that.
So good.
What?
It's about a group of teens at a public school, 4th grade, and the writers wrote each character, each of the fourth graders, based on the lives of their parents and how they're kind of a product of that. So you have Arnold, who grows up with his grandparents. He doesn't know his parents, and so he kind of has this like drive to be sympathetic towards other people as like a product of like his upbringing of not really knowing a lot, of like where he comes from, and he just tries to help people. You have Helga, who's like the bully, and like her dad is a workaholic and totally absent from the home. Her mom is an alcoholic, and and you don't know that as a kid. As an adult, you look back and it's like, oh, that's why she's like always, terrible in the morning. It's like, oh, I got such a headache, and she's just like not really absent there. So you have all of these kids with their backstories, written. Cool story, real story. Going back to my sister-in-law Ashley, she actually for a while was involved in counseling people through their detox and through alcoholism and drug abuse. She counseled the voice of Oscar from that show, who is also one of the writers of Hey Arnold.
Wow.
Who was himself an alcoholic. So a lot of the moments, a lot of the beats of the show was written from the perspective of someone who was an alcoholic and a drug abuser, talking about alcoholism and drug abuse and how that affects kids.
Interesting.
Yeah, really interesting.
Yeah.
So that's when my AC just came on, so you might have the ambiance of the audio may have changed. Yeah, but so I've now created this wonderful political platform for Hey Arnold. Sell me on Hannah Montana right now.
No.
I don't like.
It is tweety music. Some songs are good. I will say that there are some bops,
Yeah.
but it's music. And a girl who is living two lives.
Yeah.
One pop star, one normal teenage girl.
Okay, so that's an interesting, like, I could actually get in on that because you talk about the struggles of being in the music industry and the kind of two-faced. I could get in on that as an idea.
Yeah.
Like, is it like deep, but does it go there?
I don't.
Probably. What's the word for like, not actually, but it does.
It skims
like the
it.
subliminal
Okay.
messaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you're a kid, like you're not gonna catch on to it. It's kind of like a similar thing with like Hey Arnold. Like
Yeah.
as you like, if you rewatch it or look back on it, you're gonna be like, oh,
Yeah.
I see that now.
Yeah.
But like as a kid, it's very much so like when I was watching it when it was out still, which makes me feel really old because I was like
Oh yeah.
7. I'm like
Oh,
20,
yeah.
gonna be 21 soon.
I was just at the age, I'm 28 now, I was just at the age to where like, new episode of Hey Arnold this Friday at 7, you
Yeah.
know? I can barely remember that.
But like it just had like a lot of like teenage things in it in the sense of just like her debating like does she want to like go do her concert or go out with like this cute boy from school kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So like I was never like too into that because I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, so the real deal is like when I talk with teenagers and tweenagers and kids who aren't even tweens yet, and they talk about their boyfriends and girlfriends at school, like we're talking like 3rd grade and stuff. Like I can't get away from the fact that that's got to come from stuff like
Oh, 100%.
Hannah Montana.
But also Hey Arnold.
Yeah, I mean Helga
She
does
had a
totally have like an
shrine.
absolute obsession with
Yeah.
Arnold. You are right. I mean she literally has an altar to Arnold in her closet
She has a
that she
shrine
basically
of it.
actually worships.
Yeah.
But then again, I mean she's like a product of like a
Yeah.
broken home. So like they're not normalizing the fact that she has an obsession.
That's true. I
But
feel
it is a part of her character.
that is true. I feel like TV nowadays that's like Disney, like I feel like any Disney show you choose to watch now, it's very like normal of like kids at a young age like
Yeah.
being in relationships like that are like not serious but serious like if you're like around that age.
Yeah.
So like it's a socially norm thing to like be dating
Yeah.
kind of a thing if that makes sense.
And I'm not like preaching the gospel of Hey
Yeah.
Arnold, but I think it's cool that the writers, the fact that Helga's got this like actual obsession over this boy,
Yeah.
who by the way Arnold, I mean like dude, he's like a great kid, right?
Yeah.
And he's got like all this like there's so many cool things about him, but like the way that Helga's story is written, you know something's wrong. Even as a kid, you don't understand it totally. Like, you know she's a bully, right? And this whole thing with, like, Arnold and Ruth, which they never get together, they never date. Arnold has this crush on Ruth. And it's so great. There's a whole episode where, like, he tries to, like, just talk to her. Because he's so, like, nervous to talk to her. And so Gerald is like, just say hi. Just, be normal. And he's like, that's it. I'm just going to go say hi. And he starts practicing his line, and he just, like, goes, hi, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Like, he can't, like, he can't muster up, the thing. So it's kind of fun that they play on this idea, like, as a kid, he never, like, actually acts on his feelings. Because, like, as a kid, like, I remember having crushes when I was, like, in, 4th grade, 5th grade. It's kind of like the age, I think, when you start to, I mean, everyone's different, but I remember, like, 4th grade, 5th grade is when I started first having, like...
Oh, wait. This person's attractive now.
Yeah, totally. And that's just a part of who we are as humans, right? And so I thought that was totally, like, that was cool because, like, they created this idea that, like, Arnold, like, has this, like, first crush, if you will, at, like, a super young coming of age thing. But, like most kids, it never, comes to anything. He just, like, has this crush from a distance, right?
That is true.
I don't know the show.
Oh, okay. I'm, like, looking to you for, like, acknowledge me, words of affirmation here.
I
Like,
feel like looking back on that show, like, it's very much so, like, that's just how things, I feel like, happen naturally. Of just, like, not to the same extent of Helga. Like,
Please,
I'm worshipping this person. But, like...
That's when you literally have something in your closet.
It's like when girls, like, at that age of just getting, like, their crush for the first time, and, like, you get a little boy obsessed or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, that... Don't... Anyways. I'm just, like... I didn't have that, but, like, when that does happen, but also, like, that idea of just, like, oh, I like this person, but I'm not gonna actually talk to them.
Yeah.
Because, like, I can't literally have anything come out of my mouth when I see them. Like, I feel like that's a natural thing, like, that happens. Like, I remember having crushes as a kid, and, like, I can't talk to them. As an adult now, I'm like, I still can't talk to them. Like, and I'm like, that's probably why I'm in the position of life I'm in.
Yeah.
But it's, I don't know, I feel like it's more natural in that, like, TV shows you see nowadays of just, like, I like that person, like, we're dating, and, like, it's just, like, this easy, fluid thing.
Within the first 4 minutes of the episode,
they were, like, immediately in a relationship. Like, I don't think that's how that works.
No.
I've never been in a position of this.
Yeah, so the funny thing is, I have heard this multiple times, like, when you're a kid and you have a crush on someone, you, like, hit them or, like, bully them because you don't know how to do it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. But I have a really funny story that involves someone getting hit over a crush that I had. so this is a great story. I had a crush on this girl, like, really, I was, like, really crushing on her, like a whole, like, year and a half. And it gets to, like, 8th grade, and, like, I don't know why, but, like, when you're in junior high, like, you think, like, when you get to high school, everything's going to change.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of does. Like, to a degree, I went to private Christian school for elementary school. I went to public junior high, so it was like a total paradigm shift. So I was like getting used to like what, like, first of all, High School Musical. I'm not even gonna talk about that. One time I watched the whole trilogy with my cousin John.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that hurt.
Yeah,
totally. We watched the trilogy back to back to back. And so I had this crush on this girl. I've been crushing on her for like a year and a half. And she was in my science class. And
that's why you watch us.
I was trying to figure it out, right? So I sat, it was like a chevron shape, so it was like a wing on the right and then a middle and then a left wing. So I was on the right wing, middle of the row, and she was on the left wing, middle of the row. So our like eyes were so much that we had the same centered focus if we're looking at the teacher. So the teacher was walking left, So I was always doing a thing of like looking at her, and then she'd look over, look away, and this like went on for like ever. And one day I just noticed in the corner of my eye, she's like waving at me. And I was like, this is my moment, this is my moment, this is my moment. And the best part was, I remember specifically, I had been playing with some This is like the Lord is the best. Like, I had like 100 paper clips in my backpack, and I just started making a paperclip chain, and I was just like dangling them and just draping. I was like nest making my desk, I guess. Just, I was just like playing with paper clips and, and she's looking at me, and I'm like, oh, this is my moment. She's looking at me. And she's like, she eyes right at me. I'm like, I literally do like the double take where I look behind me. No, me, really, me. And I literally point at me and like mouth me. And she's like, yes. And I was like, what is she's trying to talk to me in middle class. This is my moment. This is like the greatest thing. And she starts mouthing something to me and I can't, like, apparently I'm really bad at reading lips. That or like my heart was just like so excited that like a girl's talking to me that I didn't speak language anymore. And so here's the deal. The middle row is my really good friend Troy, who later would be roommates, one of my good friends, and another kid, I won't mention, another kid who decides he sees this going on and he just kind of sticks his head in with this cheeky smile and he's like trying to be a part of this whole thing. And I'm like, trying to wave him off, like, go around, stop. And, and my crush, like, she's like trying to go over him and around him, trying to talk to me. Like, I don't know what's possessed my crush to try and talk to me. I'm like, trying to figure this out. Like, what does this mean? Like, did she see my paperclip thing and she wants to know about it? Did I impress her with my paperclip? Like the little thing.
I can make one for you.
Like junior high gift here. I made you a string of paperclips. Do you like me? Say yes or no. And he just keeps putting his face in the way. And something possessed my friend Troy. I don't know if he was just wingmanning it or something. He grabs the science book. And this was not a paperback. This was a hardback
science book.
He pulls it over his shoulder and hits him in the back of the head. And his forehead hits the desk. And he goes boom, boom, boom. Once to the book, second to the desk, and a third time back up to the book. And the best part is my teacher sees it go down. And I'm not going to say who it is. And she would be totally fine. I'm going to say it. It's Miss Marquez. Miss Marquez. She's now one of the principals at Dixon High and one of my favorite humans on the planet. She stands up, looks Troy, and Troy is like puffing and puffing over like, like the victory. And like, she just stands up and goes, Troy. And Troy just like looks up like these big puppy dog eyes, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm okay." I honestly don't remember what happens next. All I remember is that he did not get in trouble, and I never talked to her again.
Did you ever find out what she was trying to say?
No, I never talked to her again.
Sick.
Because that moment like just severed any potential. If this guy's connected with him, there's no way. Like, I never know what she's trying to find out. Never found out.
Any attraction whatsoever? Canceled right then and there.
Yeah, I did send her a message on MySpace like the next year.
Okay.
And nothing ever came out of that.
Wow.
Nothing ever came out of that.
Okay.
R.I.P.
Yeah, big rip.
Not everything in the story, but that story reminded me of something. It just the motion of the head just hitting.
Bro, same you do.
Okay.
You go first.
Again, in middle school, 8th grade. This kid, you guys also know him. I think it's fine to say it. Austin Lar.
Yeah.
So I'm bent down, like at my desk. My head's down, like writing something. He swings his head back. And he sits in front of me. The back of his head hits the back of my head. My head smacks my desk. And I had this teacher, and we had like these little side pouches because it's still 8th grade, and like depending what color you get, like means something. And she just slyly comes over and gives him like a red card, which means like stay after class. And I was like, he didn't mean to hit me on the back of my head with his head. Like it was completely somehow like a complete accident.
Rear like headbutt middle of class like.
It's also like, why are you rearing your head back that far? Like if you know I'm sitting behind you.
Oh yes, dude.
It was just I don't know.
I like the passive aggressive slipping of the red card.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said nothing about it. She just did it, and I was like, well,
Ooh,
sorry. Also not my fault.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yes.
it was for surely awake after English for that day.
Yeah. You said you have a headbanging story?
So, yeah. I was in 6th grade. Everybody's still trying to prove themselves to everybody. So a cool dude. I got my skate shoes on. I got whatever. Graphic tee. I go to the bathroom. I go to the bathroom, fine. Come back, and I went to open the door. I step forward. Door hits my shoe. Big old skate shoes that are awfully rubbery. Hits my shoe. I have my head all the way in the door already. Hits my head. So you get your head hit with something, you're gonna pull it away real quick. So it hits my shoe again, and hits my head again. So I was trying to be cool and I walked into class and my head was a pinata. Luckily nothing came out, but yeah.
Wait, why did that happen?
Why?
Yes.
Because I tried to open the door and go through it.
Oh, okay.
It didn't work.
I'm the kind of person where like I have really good balance, like that's why I'm able to skate.
Wow.
But I am so clumsy.
Dude,
Yeah.
literally same.
Okay. I I have had a reputation of breaking everything in my family. And one of my favorite stories, because I threw a pole at my cousin John, same cousin.
Yep.
It hit him in the face. He is permanently scarred for life, physically, not emotionally.
That's good.
Well, mostly. We're good now. Mostly. And I've broken so many things, just, like, I'm not getting into it, but let's just say I've broken just about everything. But one of my favorite moments was, I have had this reputation my whole life, including parents and uncles, they all know it. And we were up camping with my uncle. It has this big honking, GMC. And like at the beginning of the trip, the seat belt got like caught in the door. Someone slammed it on the seat belt, and right where like the interior light was, and it popped the light out of it, and we couldn't get it back in. And so it prevented the door from closing. So my brother, who by the way was the one who did it, he was able to just finesse it just enough to where it went back into the socket and closed the door. And he looks back at all of us and goes, "No one opened this door for the rest of the trip." So that eventually my uncle would get home, he'd open the door, and then poof, it would just magically, fall out, and no one would get the blame, right? Oh, this must have happened while camping, just, some fluke. Well, this is like a 3-day camping trip. On the last day, we all file out through, and mind you, I'm the last person to get out because it's the right passenger door. I'm in the back seat left. And who is it that opens the door? My brother.
Yep.
The one who broke the door. He opens it, he kind of freezes before he gets out, and he looks back at me and just goes, "I'm sorry." And just walks away. And just walks away, knowing I was going to be the last one out. So, knowing me, I can't just leave the door open. I have to try and close it. So I'm the last one out, and I'm like trying to quickly, maybe get it back in there. And my uncle just sees me struggling and goes, "Matt, what are you doing, bud?" And I'm just like, "Hey, it's trying to open the door." I couldn't think of anything. And of course I get blamed for it. And I'm just like, the whole why yada to my brother. But I deserved it for all the things that I broke in the past. I finally, it's like, just it's one more notch in the belt,
Yeah. I also feel like being the youngest sibling, meaning there's only 2 of us and I'm the youngest one.
Right, yeah, so we have that in common.
Here's the thing, you just get put in really sticky situations sometimes. If you guys didn't know, me and my sister and my family in general used to live in Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
We lived on 2 acres of land, which was just a common thing in the neighborhoods. Everyone just had a 2-acre backyard. Wonderful time. My 10 cousins, 10 of them would just come over. That's just an important number to remember. Would come over all the time. And we had this small rideable John Deere.
Yep.
And my dad taught my sister how to lift up the blade so we could just all ride it.
Yes.
At the same time, of course. Because our favorite game to play, of course, was Power Rangers. Why?
Because Power Rangers are cool.
P-brains. Exactly.
Power Rangers are still the best.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think I was 4. And I was the smallest out of everyone. So I got put on the worst spot of this lawn mower, which is I don't know how to describe it. Those generic small John Deeres you could just find? It's the place right behind where the person sits. I had to figure out how to put my tiny little body there and not fly off of it. Something happened. We somehow caught speed. I don't know how. We hit a bump. I fly off of this lawnmower. And it was just this very much so, I feel this 3 Stooges of me trying to run and jump back onto it. And it just miserably failing.
Yes.
And I was talking to my mom about it the other day because she's a middle to younger child in her family. I was we were just raised to be stunt doubles and just be the blame of quite literally everything. I remember once my sister didn't want to admit to it. She got in trouble for something. She was "Can I talk to Haley really fast?" As she we're having this weird meeting with our parents. I was 7. And she goes, so I did it, but can you take the blame for it? And I looked at her and went, no! And I was like, it's not even a big deal. I was like, who ate the last of the donuts? And I was like, I'm not gonna put myself out there. And I remember getting out there and like she still wasn't answering. I was like, I don't have time for this. They're just gonna expect it's me anyway. So I was about like this big breath of air about to say I did it. She's like, I did it. And I was like, and I was like sick for once. Like I'm not getting blamed for this.
See, I feel like if we were wise when we were younger, we would establish like some kind of sibling currency.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah.
Like you take the blame for this. I give you, you know, like 5 sibling currency bucks. You know, like. Redeemable at any moment, like a Shroot buck.
Yeah.
You know?
How many demerits in
But I think this would have been really smart. Like we would have been able to literally buy our way out of something in the future that we just don't want to get blamed for. Like you could pick your poison what you get blamed for. It's so smart.
Here's the thing.
It's like Aladdin bail bonds, but for your brother or your sister.
But then
before you're even convicted.
True. But like they could do like Uno reverse, you know what I'm saying, and like have their own stored up.
If you had like an equal number of sibling bucks, you'd just be like
me and my sister never had that exactly, but like growing up, my dad's like, I don't want to hear you arguing, so like just wrestle it out. So we would physically fight each other. It worked wonders. We're in a great relationship now.
I'm gonna take a note real quick.
Gladiator battle for who
like,
gets blamed.
Even to this day, last Christmas, like my sister did something she didn't mean to, and she hit me like really hard, and I went, remember this moment. I will get you back at one moment. You won't know when. And like that's our currency. And so like
that's fantastic.
So like at an unexpected moment, because my mom used to do this to her siblings too. At any like unexpected moment, she could just get a straight uppercut to the gut.
Oh
like
my
at any
gosh.
time. Like that's what I mean. Like we fight. I remember once.
This generation is soft.
I know. That's what I'm saying. They just need a bunch of calluses.
Yes. You can roll on the pavement for a while.
Exactly.
Toughen up, bub.
Like I remember I was like me and my sister like messing around like fighting each other like not really, and like she started talking to my mom and I went to go punch my sister and my stepdad's like a black belt in karate and he goes, your hand's in a terrible form, and I was like, oh really, show me please. And so he readjusts my form. He's like that, like try it now, and like I just straight like uppercut her mid sentence to my mom, knocked all the wind out of her, and she went, good shot.
Wow.
And just walked away.
Wow.
And it was like true bonding moment with the step parent.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like, so like I'm millennial generation. You guys are Gen Z, I guess, right?
Yeah.
So you're at the very beginning of Gen Z. I'm at the very end of the millennial generation, which is apparently like the most hated generation ever.
For that.
Soz. And like, I feel like, honestly, my growing up experience and your guys' growing up experience, we're separated by 8 years?
Yeah.
Something like that. It honestly is not that different.
No.
Because I grew up before cell phones, but I grew up with like a Nintendo 64 controller in my hand, so I grew up playing video games and like having a lot of screen time. But I also grew up riding bikes all over town, climbing redwood trees 80 feet in the air. Like that's over a quarry of rocks.
You've never done that?
Like,
no.
We grew up dangerously and got bruises, and honestly I haven't broken that many things. I've only broken my left index finger from basketball and then my left thumb from dodgeball. Thanks, Isaiah.
Yep.
And then my left knee I injured pretty bad skating because I wasn't wearing my knee pads. That's the majority of... Okay, well, I've had a lot of teeth injuries. I've had a lot of mouth surgery.
I feel like that's its own separate category.
Yeah.
Of things.
I have had more mouth surgeries than I have had any operations on the rest of my body.
Wow. I've only had 2 surgeries, and that's my wisdom teeth and my wrist. And when I had my wisdom teeth removed, I hit on a 50-year-old man delivering a package from my house.
Yeah.
You hit on a 50-year-old Mandalorian?
Yeah. Sure. No, it's just like this old guy, like delivering like an Amazon package, like just dropping it off. And like my legs literally stopped working. So my 6 foot, like 3 stepdad is just carrying me. And like my legs are just dragging behind me. And my mouth is like swollen and bloody. I don't smell good for whatever reason. I'm just fresh out of surgery. And like this guy like
surgery smell.
this guy is like dropping off a package, and I looked at him and went, "What up, delivery boy?" And my mom went, I'm so sorry. And that's the time and the only time I've actually ever hit on someone.
Yeah, it's so great. It comes full circle back to the whole not talking to boys.
But then, like...
So basically the moral of the story is, like, if you have a crush, to muster up the strength,
Put me through surgery. I remember... And then, like, it was a whole nother experience. I remember I woke up. So when I got my wrist surgery done, they give you a blocker, which they, like, put in your neck. And it numbs your whole arm.
Oh, I would hate that.
But here's the thing. They're like... So it could... I wasn't awake. So, like, they do it, like, right as they give you your, like, anesthesia. So, like, you're awake, but you don't remember. Like, I don't remember getting it. But it's just in case if, like, they hit a nerve. I'm like, oh, sick. That could end terribly for me. And they're like, sometimes, like, it misses a spot. The spot it missed was very exactly. I got my surgery done. Of course. So I woke up and they're like, are you in pain? I went, yup. But also, like, very, like, high from whatever they gave me. But
so
like,
basically, you're in the worst possible outcome because you're in pain.
Yeah. And
you're really high and out of your mind.
And I'm like, I didn't want anyone getting me dressed. So then I'm just like, numb arm, like, trying to figure out life. And I was like, what am I doing? And my mom's like, do you want help? And I was like, no one can see me like this. And, like, the nurse was like, do you want my help? And I was like, I don't even know you. Like, no. And then, like, finally things that worked out. I ended up back in my clothes. I don't remember what happened.
Somehow.
Apparently you didn't have much to fend off with your numb arm.
Yeah. I was...
That uppercut's got really bad.
I turned over and I just flung my arm. And it was, like, in a sling, but falling out of the sling. And I was like, I'm just numb from, like, here down. But, like, we're, like, I'm getting rolled out. And my surgery was in Woodland. That has, I don't know, any importance to this. But I'm, like, making kissy faces at my mom for whatever reason. Just going, like, at her. I don't know why. And, like, the nurse pushed me. He's trying not to laugh at whatever I'm doing. My mom goes, it's fine. She's not going to remember this. Surprise, I did. I don't care.
I get burned, Mom.
I've never not remembered anything, by the way.
Exactly.
From those experiences.
And, like, we get out to my car, and I look over, and it's just this whole turkey. And I looked at my mom and went, is it Thanksgiving today? And she goes, nope, I don't know what's there. Let's go home now. And then I ended up in bed and crying because I couldn't get nachos.
For reals, dude.
Wow.
I'm terrified of surgery for that purpose.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I cried before my operation. I didn't know what to do.
So like I said, I've had a lot of mouth surgeries, which, interestingly enough, I've only really been put under once. And it was that Twilight thing where really I was totally aware.
Oh.
Until I think I fell asleep right around like the third tooth, and like I remember seeing everything and not feeling anything, and I was okay with that. It's when I'm numbed and I see everything and feel everything except the pain. That is the absolute worst.
I just hate all of that. I don't want to not be able to feel. I don't want to not be able to hear. I don't want to not be able to see. My life is in your hands. Now I realize that ultimately you have no control over your life whatsoever, but my life is in your hands, and if you mess up, I'm dead.
You just laid an egg right here because you are consciously admitting that you might have an existential crisis while under the scalpel.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, exactly. I'm terrified of surgery.
Wow. I feel if you didn't overthink it...
I'm having an existential crisis. You need to stop this right now. I need to talk to a philosopher.
I can't talk. You can't talk.
So you just kind of do it like this around your neck, like cut it out, cut it out, cut it out. What's wrong?
Fascinating.
Dude, that terrifies me. Because, okay, confession time. I've been to the dentist in a very long time, so I might need to get my wisdom teeth removed. But I don't want to find out because I don't want to go into surgery.
It's not that bad.
No, it's terrifying.
Okay, in fairness though, like, both operations I had done, which weren't, like, that extreme because, like, the guy did it. Both people have just done this operation many times and whatnots. But, like, I just got scared of the fact I'm getting an IV.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, for the folk at home that don't know this, I have, like, 6 piercings. I had, like, a 16 gauge needle through my nose and my ear before. Doesn't bother me. A tiny little prick in my hand. Oh no. I flipped out. I remember I was squirming when they gave me my IV, which they had to do on the back of my hand, which isn't even that bad.
It's really hard to do, by the way, to hit a vein while you're squirming.
Yeah, I know. And I'm bawling. Like, 1, it's like 6 in the morning. 2, I'm just sobbing because I don't want to get an IV in my hand. which is, let me tell you, a lot less painful than getting your septum pierced. But no, I don't want it.
So this is a weird. I actually love the dentist.
Yeah.
I love getting my teeth cleaned. It's somehow really relaxing to me.
Anarchist.
Yeah.
It's not as good as getting your haircut. Haircut is
True.
like
Also anarchist.
one of my favorite things on the planet. It's like getting a hair massage and then you look better. Like it's amazing.
It's
head massage, not a head massage, not a head massage.
Yeah, okay.
But it's literally the absolute. But so I can like pain. I have a pretty decent pain tolerance. You know, like the whole scraping of the gums thing. Like that never bothers me.
Yeah.
What I cannot have is getting like hair plucked.
Wow.
Like eyebrows plucked. That's why I have this caterpillar up here. Is that I can do one or two and I'm out.
Here's the
out
thing.
Of that thing.
If you hit a
So
point
what are the odds?
of just speed.
Okay. You go and then what are the odds?
Gotcha.
We're gonna end this thing with the what are the odds. Okay. I've got one.
Here's the thing. If you just hit a speed and you know it, like how your eyebrows are supposed to look, and you just go one by one really fast, it's not that bad. Here's the thing though. I've had it where I grabbed 2 hairs at once and it slipped off. Man, that's painful because you don't yank them out.
See, I get like the cry and then also like the squirting face where you have to back up. It's like you just ate like a rancid pickle,
You
but
should
it's
just
made of
wax your
pain.
eyebrows.
And it's the rancid pickle of pain is located in your face and you have to get rid of it.
I feel like if you
It's
just
like
wax, no, you're good. If you just waxed them, you'd be chilling. It's just one swipe and you're done.
I feel like I would be so revulsed that I would just like lunge backward and then hit my head.
when you put a cone on a cat and it goes. That's what I think.
Okay, you have a what are the odds? I got a what are the odds
keep,
for you.
like all of your eyebrows. Like make them nice, not all of your eyebrows.
Okay.
Just like
So I will agree to do this what are the odds if you agree to do this what are the odds. What are the odds that for the next podcast you show up in full on overalls and cowboy hat and cowboy boots?
Yo,
who's buying them?
I gotta say, I live on a ranch.
I
Fair enough for me.
Do I? Have you seen my stepdad?
No.
Oh, he's pretty big.
Okay, I like this. All right, so what are the odds that I will? Well, I say we got to do the same number. We got to agree on a number.
Yeah.
I feel like 30.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Okay. All right, you know my number. You know my number for that range.
No.
Am I gonna say my number? Yeah. Okay, Haley,
Sick.
count it off.
3. What?
Start over.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay. All right, here we go.
3, 2, 1.
4. Okay. All right. What are the odds that you will come in full-on cowboy gear, get up, and all the business?
Probably sweating.
Count us off.
Full profuse.
3, 2, 1.
18. Oh, yeah, I thought you would reverse psychology my number.
No.
Oh,
See,
man.
I don't play that game.
Wow.
Future
I don't play.
podcast. My goal is to get you for one of these podcasts. I'm just not going to be able to take you seriously, which is going to make this podcast
Way better.
I feel like that's gotta conclude episode 1. Haley, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks.
Your presence and your story has made this all the better for a pilot podcast.
Well, I feel obliged to be here today, so I really appreciate joining y'all.
Yes, thank you so much. Matt, it's been a pleasure.
A pleasure indeed.
Excellent. You guys, thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, episode 2 will be coming out in a date in the future, somewhere between now and whenever COVID is over and the next millennium. At some point, Venn diagram that puppy.
Now I'm done.
Between now and death.
Yeah.
That is likely and hopeful.
Yeah.
So, thank you guys for listening. That is episode 1. We will catch you next time.
Deuces.